Good morning, everybody. Well, it's good afternoon, actually, really. Welcome to the Help Yourselves podcast. And with me today, I am delighted to have Kay Starr, who I met. Sorry, shut this up. Sorry, this is. We're having a few internet issues. Kay, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm really great. How are you today?
Absolutely. I am loving this weather. It is just the best, isn't it? How much better does it make you feel when the sun is shining?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So I think we have a little delay. As I said, I've just updated my computer. We've got 5G. I'm not entirely sure, but let's give it a go, and hopefully we can get your message of magic out to the Heal Scotland and Beyond community.
Hello, Heal Scotland community.
Obviously, you've been getting phenomenal. Obviously, you have been getting phenomenal PR, but can you just start off with your journey to where you are now and how you got into Life Magic?
Okay, so Life Magic is a reimagining of something that I've been doing for many, many decades, actually. I used to run something called Thrivecraft, which is life coaching, business coaching, spiritual coaching, training academy. And my influences prior to that are, I was an ordained Buddhist. So I started my journey way back in my teens.
Really?
That I trained for 9 years, and then I was ordained for 9 years, and I was teaching retreats and classes, and obviously meditation is a huge part of Buddhism. So they're my roots, and I had done a psychology degree prior to that even. And then I decided to move on from Buddhism and moved from London to Devon and thought, well, I still want to help people thrive. How can I do that? And I discovered this thing called life coaching. I thought, well, that's a kind of good enough label, and started Thrivecraft in 2003 and built it up into a training academy where people were learning how to become life coaches and meditation teachers. And the special thing about Thrivecraft, it was very much infused with my late husband, who helped me start it up. And we put all everything together, everything that he knew about, everything that I knew about. And it was a real co-creation. And it specialized in meditation, inner wisdom, finding that truth, finding who we are, and manifestation, which is something that gets talked about nowadays. Manifestation, how to deliberately create the life that you want. But back then, nobody really was talking about it. So we were doing that from the early 2000s, and switch the clock forward right till now. Paddy has now left us, bless him, and I moved back to Scotland, my homeland, to this beautiful little island, Isle of Cumbrae. And yeah, I've been doing a few things as I've been recovering from nursing home and grieving him and setting up my new life here again, another new life. And yeah, I was doing bits and pieces and bits of this and bits of that, and doing a little bit of filming, a bit of radio, doing the odd course, class. I did something called Love Magic 2 years ago, and it was a kind of reform of something I used to call Get Ready for Love in the Thrivecraft days. And I realized this magic word just feels more contemporary, feels more alive. And I think I'm kind of a bit more out the cupboard with the out and out spiritual side of what informs my practice, everything that I share with others. So yeah, Life Magic came together. We had Love Magic 2 years ago, and then I've relaunched this autumn with a bang, and everything is happening. Got a weekly class, got a retreat coming up, got a new radio show about to start, and I've got a book downloading inside me as well. And yeah, it's oh, and we've got our first film being screened in Millport, Isle of Cumry, because I set up a little media hub, and we got a grant for some media equipment, and we're just taking films, and our first screening of our very first film is happening on Saturday. So it's just like, whoa. I knew this.
I mean, I can sense. Yeah. I can absolutely sense the energy from you, and it makes total sense. I didn't know. We've not really had a huge amount of time to chat, although we've met a few times. Yeah. So to really get to know, when did Paddy cross over?
He crossed over in 2022. So yeah, he'd been ill for quite a long time. I nursed him for about 4 years ago, not that long ago. But my life kind of, when I moved back to Scotland, it's this island, Isle of Cumry. It's pretty near Glasgow, for those who don't know where I am. It's known as the most accessible island in Scotland, or one of them. And it's where my mum settled with my stepdad. So I had lots of holidays here, and I've ended up making it my own home. Yeah.
I know, I need to come and visit. There's something magical about islands. And I think that because the sea sweeps round the islands, it cleans the energy. And there's, I lived in Malta. I love Skye, Mull, Iona. These islands these islands have their magic, don't they?
Well, this island is apparently made of a lot of quartz crystals. And there's a real longevity thing. We have lots of healthy elders here, and there's a beautiful standing stone. There's a real energy here. But recently I've connected with what's called Wee Cumry. So I'm on Great Cumry. That's Millport, Great Cumry. There's this uninhabited island that you get to by boat very close by called Wee Cumry. It's got a beautiful manor house on it, and they're just getting it going as a retreat centre again. And I've been to visit lately, and it was one of the pieces that was in the local news. And I realised I'm going to run my retreats there, Life Magic retreats there, and help them develop their vision for what they want to do with the island. So really excited to that development.
How many bedrooms does it have?
It's got 7 double or twins. It's maybe got a couple more that could be incorporated. And it's also got an amazing flat space for glamping pods. And it's you get a whole island to yourself. It's just absolutely stunning. So it's petite, and you do have to get there by rib. So it's a bit exciting. It's there's no ferry there or anything, but there's a chap that takes you over. So that's what we're doing come September.
That all sounds absolutely fantastic. And there's nothing nicer, is there, I was just talking to my friend, being remote, but still being handy.
Yes, exactly.
You're not too far away from the people. The people can get to you easily. So tell me a little bit more about your Buddhist journey.
Sure. It was something I discovered. I was studying psychology at uni, and I learned a bit of meditation doing yoga, and I was quite intrigued with it. Basically, I went to a class, and it happened to be the Glasgow Buddhist Centre. Knew nothing about Buddhism, and it was a very contemporary order. They were very kind of groovy and happening and modern. They were called the Western Buddhist Order at the time, and I learned meditation and started asking questions about Buddhism, and realized I really loved the teachings of the Buddha, the wisdom of the Buddha. And I just dived straight in, moved down to London, and lived in a kind of ordination hothouse community. We lived in community houses. They had a sort of single sex principle at the time. So you lived with all women or all men if you're a man. And it was to do with letting go of gender stereotypes. That was the kind of thinking. And you work businesses in the same way. So women ran their businesses and men ran their businesses. And we had all these beautiful, what we call right livelihood businesses, using ethical principles and meditation and skillful communication. And Yeah, we were in Bethnal Green, East London, and I was there for 16 years, got ordained in the middle of it. Actually, the year of the ordinations, which was 1993 for me, the ordinations happened to be in Scotland because we were in between retreat centres. So I was ordained in Scotland, near Balquhidder, on Loch Foyle, at the Danakosha Retreat Centre, which is still running as a Buddhist centre, and actually had a retreat with them last year, reconnected with them. They still feel like my brothers and sisters from like a long time ago. And yeah, continued to live in London teaching. And it was such a kind of, we called it the new society. You know, how do you run businesses? How do you reach people? How do you help people thrive? All informed with the wisdom of the Buddha, and you know, without all the kind of cultural baggage, just making it relevant and modern. And I absolutely loved it. I mean, what a way to spend your 20s and most of your 30s, in my case. It was like semi-monastic and very, very in-depth. So I would be on retreat at least 6 weeks a year. It was an amazing experience. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I mean, that's why you appear so happy.
Ah.
Because that's really ultimately that calmness inside and just that wonderful life that's almost childlike. And that, I mean, that's a compliment.
Oh, thank you. I like that.
You know, with the wonder of the planet and everything that's on it and her. And I think, you know, Scotland is a special landmass. You know, that the scenery and the land we have here is just like jaw-dropping, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you get midges there?
We do get a few. We do get a few. I went in for a late swim. I'm running a weekly Life Magic class. I'll tell you more what Life Magic really is in a minute. But I've decided to run a weekly class, and it was so gorgeous. And we had such a lovely time together. And we had the fire door open in this beautiful cabin that we're in at the back of these grounds, surrounded by trees. And I thought, oh, let's go out and walk bare feet on the grass. So we did a walking meditation in the middle of our other things that we were doing. And there were a few midges around, but they didn't trouble us. So relatively okay on that score. But I was so moved. And, you know, Scotland, like you say, I came back, I thought, what I got, a message in my own meditation was, what do I need to attend to? What do I need to, you know, support me? Was get in the water. Because you can swim, you can wild swim all around the island, easy. And I just did it. I went and got some leggings on, a long sleeve t-shirt. I was in there at 9 o'clock, swimming in the sea, and it was sublime. All these swallows overhead, everything blue and peachy, and oh my gosh, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Well, that's how, when you're most connected to the free flow of electrons, is when you're in the salt water, you're getting supercharged. So, you know, we all know that feeling, right? And part of it can be the cold, because let's face it, even in the summer, the water is usually pretty cold here. But you get that, like, just that feeling of just bliss and connection. I just love it. I'm going to Jersey on Monday, so I'm excited to be in the sea every day. Because obviously when I lived in Argyll, it was really easy. I had rivers, I had the canal, I had the sea right there. And there's rivers up at the hub, but I miss the salt water, definitely. I love it.
Well, I'm really inspired by, I mean, I met you at Wild Medicine in Tarbert, the wonderful festival we did, and really inspired by the physicality of what you teach, you know, the kind of biology of it almost, you know. But obviously with the values of nature, and because we're natural beings, aren't we? And yeah, I think definitely the walking in the grass and the swimming in the sea and all that is so good, just to connect with the elements.
It's essential. You know, it's absolute. And I think in Scotland, let's face it, the weather is not always conducive to living outside or even being outside. So that's what, you know, I love about the hub, is that we're kind of replacing what a lot of us Scottish people who are in the bottom rung of the health ladder. Yes. And, you know, I'm really, really keen to get this information to to people in the poorer communities, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, that are not getting access and can't afford decent food, to get charged by nature, you know, which is free. And the different ways that we can do that, because we categorically know when we take people out of poor wealth, when they start to generate a bit of wealth, they generate better health because they're not stressed all the time. So, you know, it's definitely part of my understanding of, and in the kind of addiction communities, because we still have the highest, you know, drug deaths and suicide rates, which I find, you know, really incredibly sad. But we can be doing a lot more in these communities with the understanding of the electromagnetic side of the body. So you've got a weekly class going, and you're going to be doing retreats.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do.
What would somebody? Yeah. What would somebody expect when they come along to a retreat? Let's start with the retreats.
I mean, that's where it began. I love retreats. I've attended loads. I've given loads, and I just love that contained space. And we're going to do a weekend. And as I say, we're going to be on this gorgeous island. It will be really relaxed. There'll be a lot of guided meditation, and it won't matter if you've done it before or you haven't. People who enjoy my meditations say, "Oh my God, I've never gone there before. I didn't think I could meditate, but oh my goodness!" So there's something happens, so people can just be really guided in a very simple way into some of these meditations. And some of them are kind of, I think they've evolved. I mean, I've been meditating for 42 years now, and I've come across, I don't know, I suppose dozens of meditations, practiced them, and lots of inspiration and influences. So I've just kind of gathered all this stuff. I was quite influenced by the whole 5 Rhythms dance. I don't know if you're familiar with 5 Rhythms dance. It's a moving meditation. It's like you move your body. And yes, of course, we were dancing, weren't we, at Wild Medicine? And it's influenced by that as well. Kind of like all the chakras, you know. I think when I was just Buddhism, I had developed my crown chakra, this chakra, my heart. But when I did 5 Rhythms, it felt like the lower chakras all got really involved as well. And that's just a poetic way of putting it. I don't know if that's kind of accurate, but so
absolutely, the body gets involved, right?
Yes, indeed. So we sit, we meditate, we do a bit of group work. I've got some beautiful processes that help connect people. And I think what happens is something about, I mean, I found this even as a life coach, I always use meditation to guide people into their true self at the beginning of a session, just a few moments. And it meant that you were immediately talking to their deep soul rather than a more sort of superficial version. So I think, you know, when we get these sort of immediate ways to connect with people, and I can help people connect with the true self, myself included, as I'm giving the retreat. And then it's about, life magic in itself is about reviewing a whole life. So we review our life, we let ourselves dream into what would really be fantastic for ourselves. We look at releasing some of the things that have got in the way of that. This is sort of classic life coaching shape in a sense. And then what we add on with the magic bit are some of these incredible manifestation practices I've learned over the years that come from gurus and all sorts of places. And the manifestation is about telepathy, basically. It's about energetically changing your broadcast signal out into the world. And we can do it really well with certain meditation techniques. I teach a course called Soulful Marketing, and we basically learn telepathic marketing. So it's we don't have to go out there and get online and, you know, maybe we will do some of that too, but we'll do it from a place of real alignment with who we are. And, you know, when I train people to become Thrivecraft coaches, I did a whole module on business, because these are people that they just want to help people. They're healers, they're whatever. and they don't necessarily want to kind of price themselves big and do the hard sell. So part of what I coach is how to do it with integrity and really align yourself with value and giving and connecting in a very human sort of way. And that's the way I've always done it. So it's interesting you're saying I've got this kind of great big media presence at the moment. Well, big media presence. I mean, I've been in the local papers a few times. But it's all kind of come because I've got really clear what I'm doing. I've got really aligned with myself. I'm really in touch with what I want to give people. I reached out to one person that, it was all synchronicity, and this chap wanted to do that, and he wanted to do a story on this. And, it all just happened because I'm really standing in the truth of what I'm passionate about. And yeah, I'm clear about it as well. And I've got my kind of business. But I personally, I like a very, very light structure and framework, and then a lot of spirit and a lot of alignment and a lot of energy work to support that.
I love it.
It's something
I love it.
You liked it. It's from my Buddhist days. Yeah. I mean, we ran these right livelihood businesses. I've actually got a lot of business experience, and then I went on to become a development consultant and a community development consultant. I helped create businesses, houses, Save Village Shop, all that kind of. I'm really into community as well. So I've got this swathe of practical interest, and I do help some businesses. I do some development consultancy still for businesses, but just the ones I like and the ones I really align with, and combining that pragmatic thing with this spiritual power. Whoa, that's incredible. And we're rolling out business magic courses, abundance magic courses, love magic again for people who want to find the right love in their life. And it's all the same principle. It's infusing a light, practical, clear structure, which you might call maybe the masculine principle. I don't mean male, I just mean the masculine principle in terms of wisdom, with a more feminine principle in terms of intuition. I'm really into helping people develop their inner wisdom, their intuition, and then everything becomes easy because you just know what's right for you, and you learn to trust it and to hear it, and you learn to trust that. And then it's about synchronicity. Things just happen, path of ease, all of that. It all just starts to unfold. So I just think we all need more of that. And that's kind of what Life Magic's all about.
Absolutely. And it's that kind of infinite trust, that I have now that, just, thy will, not my will, and just seeing what's coming towards you and deciding whether what road you take, what potential in the field you point towards. And, you said there about clarity. I think that's really obvious. I'm working with people who are very unwell, and I say to them, right, let's get the Google Maps out, Google Health Maps out. Where are you going? Right. And that's what we talk about. That's where we put our focus and attention. And it might not arrive today or tomorrow, but it will arrive if you hold your course. And then we all know that's where the community comes in, because that's the challenging part. I can give people the knowledge that they need to change their microbiome and to change their energy levels. But if they can't sustain, the protocols long enough to changes, because ultimately we have to change things to get change, then, you're not going to get the result. Simple as that. Not in anything. It doesn't matter what you want to change. You have to commit. You have to show up. So, well, listen, that all sounds absolutely fantastic. And so people, where's the best place for people to find you?
My new website is called Kstar, that's 2 R's, .com.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. I do have an old website, which is kstar.tv, and that's got more of the broadcasting side, because I'm doing radio. I'm doing these, making these films and documentaries. But yeah, Kstar.com is a new website. and which I'll be updating soon. It's just been created actually. But that was an example of the creativity and the synchronicity. I got introduced to the designer, and he did an amazing job for me. And now he's a friend, and he's coming to Life Magic. So it just feels great. He's done such a beautiful job of the redesign. kstar.com. Yeah,
I know. All your marketing branding looks beautiful.
That's all down to David.
Well, I wish you good luck.
Thanks.
And I'm going to come and visit. I would love to
That
come
would be
over,
great.
and I would love to see the small place as well, and the retreat centre, because we're always looking for venues, even if not for us, but for other people. Always ask me, do you know any good venues? And
Yes.
so it's really helpful for me to know and to have seen them, and then you can sell it a lot better. So amazing. So listen, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll come to see you, of course, at Quarriers. I want to come and see you at Quarriers, so we'll do that too. I'll arrange a day and I'll come and
all
see
about.
Aye.
Yeah, and all the incredible things that we're seeing there. I want to chat to you all about that as well.
Okay.
So amazing. Okay.
Okay, my
Huge
darling.
love, and I will see you very soon.
Okay, best wishes, Lilia.
Bye, everyone.